Matthew here from MiniWarGaming.com, and I'm making a video from our studio that's just still being renovated. The painting is all done, the curtains are up. We still have a bunch of other work to do though, including lighting and computers and all that kind of stuff. But I want to show you this. This is our new camera. It's one of several that we'll be buying, but we wanted to just get one to test it out, make sure it suits our purposes. Unfortunately, because we only have one, it means that this video is being created by one of our old cameras. So don't judge the footage that you're seeing right now as to what this can do. We'll be making some battle reports to test this out. This is a Canon XA10 Professional HD camera. It's awesome already, we can tell. We've already been using it. But I just want to go over some of the cool specifications for this and why we decided to get this one. This is basically one of the lowest end professional cameras that we could get. It's $1,700. That's how much it costs. I'm telling you the price for two reasons. One, because we're getting this from the IndieGoGo campaign, I want to be a little transparent with you so you can see where we're spending the money. We're actually leasing the cameras, which gives us an even better deal, but in the end we'll be spending at least $1,700 on it. And two, so you get an idea if you ever want to buy a camera. I know one of the biggest questions I have for other video producers is what kind of equipment do you use and how much does it cost? And most of the time it's really frustrating because those producers will say, well, it doesn't really matter what kind of camera you use. And they're kind of right, but at the same time it's like, yeah, okay, but just tell me what you're using so I have an idea. And so this is what we're going to be using. So as you see our future videos, not yet, but probably in about 3 or 4 weeks, we'll be switching over completely to this. Everybody will have one if it works out. Then you'll kind of be able to see the quality that this is capable of. So the Canon XA10 is a camcorder, as you can see. It's much bigger than the ones we already have. If I had thought of it, I would have brought another camera over here to show you the difference, but I forgot to. It's got a nice big, here I'll turn it on so you can kind of see how it looks, unless the battery's dead. There we go. Has the same Canon sound when it turns on. So it has a nice big touch screen, LCD, or yeah, the viewport or whatever you want to call it, and it has one that you can just put your eye up to as well. And it comes with 64 gigs built-in memory, which is enough to record over 5 hours of footage on the highest setting, which is 24 megabits. Now, the camera that we're using right now also does 24 megabits, but because the lens is much nicer, like this lens is way bigger than the lenses we have on our current cameras, and that does matter. The size of the lens does make a difference in the quality, and also the quality of the lens too. It also has a better sensor so that it can get better color, better lighting, better everything. And so put those two things together and you'll end up having a better picture because of that. It has most of the same functions that the $400 Canon camcorders that we have right now do, but that's really all you need anyways. You just need to be able to control your lighting, your color, the white balance, and your focus and things like that. It does have some other built-in things like image stabilizer that work better, I'm assuming, than the $400 camera. And it has a capability to actually view in infrared, so it actually sees infrared. So let's actually, I'm curious. No, I didn't do it, never mind. It's too cold. Infrared basically, for those of you who don't know, infrared is a light that we can't see. It's just below red. That's why it's infrared, as opposed to ultraviolet, which is just above violet, which is the other end of the spectrum. And anything that gives off heat gives off infrared light, which is why you can use infrared for, I see a flashing red light. Is there something wrong? Or is it just close enough to your face that it actually is?
It's just
okay.
Really annoying.
Okay. Oh, no, it's right there. Oh, I see. It's close to your face. Yeah, sorry. I got distracted because she's holding the camera like this right now, which is fine, but there's a flashing red light right here and I saw it reflecting off her face and I'm like, oh, there's something wrong. Okay, anyways, back to this. So yeah, infrared can be used for night vision. And then it's nice because it has the hot shoe on the top, whereas our current ones do not. So when it comes to our wireless mics, rather than hold them while we're filming, like Chantal has to do right now, you can just stick it in and it's fine. And on top of that, it comes with this. This thing is really cool. This is an audio input. It has 2 XLs. These are your, or XL something, whatever they're called. They're your typical microphone inputs. And so what happens is this thing actually hooks into the hot shoe, but it also hooks in electronically to the back. So by putting this in, you actually plug it into the camera. So this is actually now plugged into the camera. You can tighten it and everything. And then it has all the audio interface right there. So you can actually plug in 2 microphones to this, which is really cool. That's one of the big issues that we've been having with the current cameras, is that there's no way to have more than one microphone. So now we can do two. So that is really neat, and we're pretty excited for that. And of course it comes with the fancy the cover there. Now, if I'm correct, this is to help a bit with the side lighting, with the refraction. And somebody can correct me or add to what else this does, besides making it look even more professional. Like, look at that, you just add it and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I have a professional camera. Whereas you take it off and they might have just mistaken it for a cheap camcorder or an old camcorder, because the old ones were big, right? But you stick this on and there's no doubt that you must have paid good money to have this. And so, yeah, so that's good. It does something for the lighting. I think, if I remember, I took some college photography classes a few years ago, and I remember them talking about these, and I think it's because light coming from the side can refract on the lens and can actually decrease the quality of your picture quality. Does that sound right, Chantel? You do photography. Do you know what these do? No? Okay. All right. Well, somebody in the comments can correct me if I'm wrong or add to what else they do. But you put this all together, and it actually looks quite beefy. So like, look at that. So there is our new camera. Thanks to you guys and supporting us in the IndieGoGo campaign. And because we can lease these rather than having to buy them outright, we'll actually be able to get one for every video producer, plus have some extras for having more than one camera for our live shows. So that is what I got yesterday, and I wanted to show that off. So that's our update. It's kind of a fundraiser update, because this came from the fundraiser. So I wanted to thank you guys again for all your support. The campaign is still going. We hit our $17,000 goal. We almost had it yesterday when I made the video, and today we've definitely hit it. I think we're just about at $18,000 now. So our next stretch goal at $20,000 is so we can get an awesome awesome Warhammer 40K board done by Greenleaf Terrain. And so that's our next stretch goal. So go check it out. There will be a link below to the campaign. Still have 2.5 weeks left to go with it. So we have great hopes to be able to get even more stuff done for the studio. And we'll keep you up to date on everything that's happening with the studio. Right now, there's not much to show yet, just because there's a few more renovations that have to be done. This is Matthew from MiniWarGaming. Happy wargaming.